Hi, welcome to a new video dedicated to the new SPCMaker product. This is a second revision of their former 95. So this one is the GL version, and they improve one more time a lot of stuff inside. First, I would say the main improvement is done for the FPV ring by classic CMOS camera. Now you have a very good CCD camera with very good light sensitivity. So this product come into this nice bundle like the former X or the original one. So let's discover the content of this box. So this is a very compact brushless racer with a lot of equipment. Let's discover the bundle. First of all, you can find three different type of BNF version from FlySky, okay, compatible with AFHDS2 protocol. FlySky in D16 and Futaba, beware, is in fast mode, not SFHSS protocol. I think there is maybe a fourth version with a DSM spectrum, I guess, yes. So let's discover the system. Come with this very nice transportation bag. I already pre-installed some elements. So what it came in, I already pre-installed the props, the battery strap, and installed the first battery given in the bundle. Okay, so out of the box you have to insert the battery strap, okay, and the trick is to a little bit unscrew this 1, 2, 3, 4 screws, okay, and as well remove the top carbon plate, 1, 2, 3 other screws to remove. Then you will be able to insert correctly the battery strap. Okay, just a 5-minute works maximum. So I will start first with the accessories. We have already one battery in the bundle, one battery strap, and in the second bag you can find a spare battery and a second battery strap. It's exactly the same model than the former. We can see here. So exactly the same type, 350 3S 30CS discharge rate, but now come with an XT30 connector. The upgrade from an GST to XT30 is great to handle much more better the high current inputs. So this battery weight is 52 by 25 by 13. Okay, so no problem, can be inserted. And I already also installed the props, okay, but they are coming in such kind. So they are from 30 model, if I'm not wrong, okay, and well, no problem, you have to use the screw also given in the bundle. So you have this Velcro band to secure a little bit more better the battery installation, 4 zip ties, okay, to attach some things or maybe the antenna, the bags of the screws for the props, if I can take it correctly, and I will continue with this. This is an XT30 to XT60 extender, is to use more this battery for another machine with XT60 connector, is not to use some XT60 batteries for your SPCMaker, is more to export your battery for another model. So as you can see, we have also a spare prop bag, so in case. So this model are correct. They are known to offer a little bit some jellos, okay, so if you need to have a perfect jello free, take more of the RS Star quadri blade. They are okay, also in 2-inch, okay, I can read really well, it's 2035, okay, I can read really well. So let's discover the machine, and look at the main novelty in your round. This is a CCD camera, like the former model, I will show. There is no possibility to set the lens orientation. It's tuned to have a positive angle, okay, look the difference, but it's set to something about 20-25 degrees, so more adapted for aggressive flight, FPV flights, no problem. All the electronics and the bundle sounds great. You can see immediately that the machine is very well designed, very well built. That's great. So novelty, XT60 connector versus a GST1. The same type of motor, some 1104 spinning 7500 kV, if I'm not wrong, directly done by SPC, okay, SPCMaker branded. So is great. They are close to be 4S compatible. It's the same. It's insane, incredible. So we have for the electronics mini towers. On the lower we have a 10 ampere 4-in-1 ESC board supporting BLLES and D600. It's classic, and the upper flight controller board is an F3 omnibus. We could expect maybe an F4 right now. Okay, but at least we have an OSD. On the rear side here, what we have buzzer as well the light. So if we turn on the electronics, we can see that we have a strong rear light ideal, and they are programmable through Betaflight. That's great. Okay, for racing, if you want to enable, disable them, or to indicate turns, it will be possible. Immediately we have exactly the same strong structure, carbon structure. So for example, the arms are 3 millimeters. It's just great for such size of machine. The upper is only 2, but it sounds super solid. One remark versus the original model: the standoff aluminum are a little bit taller. Look at that. If we can compare both sides, yes, we have something about I would say 2-3 millimeters more taller. Okay, so they need to probably to insert the receiver on the sandwich. Okay, so I've got the Futaba version and fast model, and unfortunately I don't have any fast compatible radio, so I will install more another receiver. It's connected in S-Bus. Here, the 3 on the right here, signal red is a power plus 5 volt as well the ground. Let's give an indication about the weight of this machine without the battery, but with the battery strap and the prop install. It's more heavy. Okay, I can tell you that it's more heavy than the original version. We have close to have something about 6 grams more heavy. It's not negligible, and with the battery the total weight will exceed more than 100 grams. So we have something about 105.3 grams. So it's approximately close to 6 grams more heavier. Since it can be powered as well in 4S, but here in 3S it will impact, but just a little bit. This extra weight is done. This extra weight is coming from the XT30 connector, and I guess from the new type of camera, CCD camera. Okay, more heavier, you can see. Really, I like the design. Maybe some little drawbacks. The antenna of the 2.4 GHz part is still located rear, very close to the 5.8 GHz linear antenna. They should be installed more on front to have a minimum distance, the Fresnel distance, to not interfere too much each other. So, but it's correctly done. We have a good position. The linear 4.8 GHz antenna is correctly installed. Really, I like how compact is it. It's very well designed. No rubber band or O-rings on the flight controlling board, so you can meet some drift in the 6-axis stabilized flight mode. Good news for the F3 boards. You have some SPI connection for the 6-axis stabilization chip, so it means that the frequency can be pushed in Betaflight something to 4 kilos without problem, even close to 8, even if it's an F3 board, should be acceptable. If your load is still around 25%, 40%, it will be acceptable. So it's great. I will give you the Betaflight configuration, but first I will need to change the a receiver. Okay, and I forgot to mention there are 2 buttons here to select the video frequency as well as the resolution if PLN TAC format. So it's here the job must be done by this 2 tiny buttons. Okay, it's time to me to change the receiver. I don't know which one I will install, but probably in S-Bus, and after I will give the Betaflight configuration default settings. Okay, after the installation of G8 FieldSky receiver, install the antenna more like this, more front. So I already bound, it's classic way to bound any FieldSky G8, and I want to show you the quality of the video transmitter and the camera. So you have to know that this quadcopter offer a switchable output power of 25 milliwatts or 200 milliwatts. You have two tiny switch, and the left one, okay, is used to if you short press on it to select the current VFrame inside the selected band, and if you long press on it, you can select one of the 6 sub band. The right here switch is more to use the output power long press to switch between 25 milliwatt to 200 milliwatts. Okay, it's up to you. So look, the quality of the display, it just great. The CCD camera, it's just working great. So you should have a fantastic FPV flight. So this machine gather all the last electronics. Well, maybe you could expect now an F4 board, but at least F3 with optimized SPI data connection for the EMU. A great FPV camera, a great motors up to 4S XT30, battery, programmable lights, good out and switchable output power, video transmitter, 48 channel. So all the ingredients are here to be probably the best, I would say, micro brushless racer. So now it's time to check the default Betaflight configuration and check this small monster into the real condition. Okay, time to check the default Betaflight settings. So I plugged the USB into my computer, and good news, the receiver is also powered by the USB port as well. Seems that the video transmitter. So I will press connect. Okay, and I strongly advise each time to dump all your default settings by typing in CLI the dump command, okay, and copy and paste into a new text file all the information given by the dump command, okay, like this. Copy, Control C, and paste into a text file. Already did it. Okay, and save it. If you want to restore your default settings, if you did a mistake, just paste into here all the data, all the command, and finish by the save command. Okay, so now let's have a look. I will press the setup, so it will reboot the machine. I will need to press connect. Okay, and we have here in the setup, okay, actually no, yes, there is a voltage seen, so from the USB. So I mean that the VBAT will be monitored without problem. And let's check the ports. We have UART1, okay, in MCP, and since we have an S-bus connection for the receiver, the serial is turned on for the UART3 in classically for an F3 board. Serial, Spectrum, or whatever you want in serial, use UART3 for the serial port. Configuration, we have a quad X. D-Shock 600 is turned on by default. It's great. We have some gyro update. We have 18% with these settings, 8 kilos for the gyros, only 2 kilos for the PIDs. It can be pushed to 4 kilos without any problem. Okay, so we will do it later. No specific board alignment. And we have, as expected, a serial protocol, and more particularly with S-bus connection. So what we have the LED strip. It's logic since they are programmable. The black box is not necessary, so I will turn off the black box, except if you want to optimize your PID. And strangely, we have the SD card can be turned off as well. So we still have the OSD and LED strip. Okay, it's very important. So we are monitoring the VBAT. We have the warning default cells of Betaflight. Okay, as well we are monitoring the current, and we don't have any specific other features. Okay, so we will press save. Reconnect. And the CPU load didn't decrease too much, even by disabling these two features. So we will try to push to 4 kilos the main loop for more stability, and we'll see what will be the max CPU load. Okay, and we are still in 23%, so that's great. So it will be okay, no problem to push everything. So I forgot, if you want to give a name in your OSD information, it's here. Okay, we can, for example, type the such stuff like this and save. Okay, so let's continue. Fail safe, default drop, perfect, and let's check the PIDs. Wow, this seems to have been optimized. I don't recognize the default PIDs of Betaflight. A very small D value is good for if you want to push in 3S and 4S, because the more D is high, generally more gets warmer, so it's good to have these lowers, but sometimes it's hard to control, to stabilize as well the machine. The rates I can see are super fast. It's Maiden your fast rate, so for me it's too fast. I will apply my favorite settings, okay, and more something about 33, okay, just like 600. And for the other, I will apply something a little bit slower, okay, something about 900 degrees per second will be enough for me. Okay, so the level strength is set to 50 for both angle and horizon. Sometimes it's good to decrease to 30. It will a little bit help the stabilization. Okay, I'm saving, and let's check now the receiver. So I will turn on my receiver, okay, and I can see that most of my channel are centered in 1500, maybe except the first channel. So I will play with my radio to center, okay, the aileron, and I will play with the sub trim to increase these values. Okay. Oops, sorry. Okay, and now it seems to be okay. And what you can see on my specific receiver, I've got the RSSI proportionally to the on aux5. I can see some activity, and this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, this is a 9. I will recount 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I will activate on the 9th channel the RSSI, okay, and I will also apply a dead band as well, and the RC dead band. I will save, okay, and it's good now. This RSSI value will be sent to the OSD, so I will be able to display it correctly. In terms of mode, let's check, and what we can see, we have only acro, nothing else, and we have an arm switch which is aux1. So you can use your favorite arm switch, but me, I don't like too much. But in fact, because my radio don't have a lot of switches, so I prefer to arm classically. So I will add the angle mode classically with a lower horizon, and I will add air mode and anti-gravity for the acro, okay, so when it's on upper positions. I will also add a beeper, because there is a beeper, and more on the aux2, okay, and now I will save it. So let's check that. Horizon, anti-acro with air mode on, anti-gravity on, and the beeper is working fine. So it's good. Now it's time to check the OSD information. So we have the default one, okay, and so no specific layout have been set. So I will apply more metric and probably pale, and apply to the capacity of the battery, 500 milliamps. And about 5 minutes of flight time maximum will be. So I will now display the RSSI because we have it, okay, and remove the artificial and horizon, which is not very useful for FPV racing, but apply crosshair. I will remove the on time, okay, and apply the throttle position. So now it's time to optimize a little bit the layout, everything. Okay, let's say that I want the throttle information maybe a little bit lower. Okay, like this. Your current flight mode, your RSSI value, and the flight time. Okay, so sounds good. I will apply and save. Now it's time to have a look to the LED strip. Nothing has been done, so we can do it. So usually the left, physically the left strip light have to be placed on the right. So you have to put the wiring. So will be here the 0 will be the left physically 1, and the 1 be on the right. Okay, disconnect. Now it's time to assign the role. So we will be, for example, a color, and will be an indicator. But if you want to display a larsen effect but with the 2 LEDs is not really useful. Okay, on the second will be a color and will be indicating more an indicator or turning. Okay, we will press save. So now checking that is correct. When I'm pressing this right stick to the right, this is correctly the right light which is involved. Okay, so now everything is done in Betaflight. We will just check the default BLLE firmware install, and after go to the field. Let's check the default BLLE firmware install. I will use the BLLE configurator, the Chrome application, very useful. So I will press connect, connecting. Okay, and now it's time to connect the battery. No choice to read all the ESC information. We plug the XT30 connector. Okay, just a brief music, USB music compared to the classic boot, and I will press read setup, and we can check that we have the version 16.6, almost the last one. Okay, and it's great. And I will just activate the break and stop firmware option of BLLE. Okay, and write setup. So good news, we have almost the last firmware. It can be upgradable very easily through this interface. So now it's time to charge all the battery, and let's go in the field. First demo flight of the SPC95GL. So as you can see, I optimized a little bit the stuff, and I hope to show how great are the punch out in 3S, and don't forget it should be compatible. Well, at least for the ESC, I'm not sure for the motors in 4S. So let's give you an overview of the loss flight condition. Let's go. Okay, let's go. Record here. So as you can see, my settings are more done for NTSC camera. Wow, it's a monster of power. Look at that. Incredible. It's a monster. Oh, incredible. It's insane. Oh my god. It's incredible. Okay. Yeah, the rate should be increased. I understand why the default setting was so high. So I will increase maybe a little bit better. Yeah, they are not strong enough. Should be at least down about 1200. Okay. Okay, so our first feedback for the Betaflight settings, I will need to change at least two things. First, the rates. So definitively need to be increased. So something about 1000, okay, 1100 will be fine. Okay, so close to the original settings finally. Okay, and it's okay for the YA for me. And I would say the OSD, and unfortunately there is no way to turn the camera in PAL or an NTSC, and it's an NTSC camera, so be aware of that. So you will need to install more upper all the OSD information. Okay, and apply NTSC, and even here is not high enough, so you are losing some information vertically. Okay, NTSC now, so it should be okay. I will save, and even if it's a little bit enlarged, so it should be fine now for the OSD information. I would like to find a way to turn the camera in NTSC or PAL. Okay, I will have try to find this. Okay, so next new demo with these new settings.